Hey, fearless warriors. Boy, is my hair a little messed up right there. Sorry about that. That was distracting me. Welcome to Surviving Shock. Have you felt like you are stuck in this overwhelmed cycle? You are feeling very stuck, like you have that elephant like feeling on your chest, and you are waking up feeling exhausted even though you went to bed pretty early and thought that you had slept. Well, most likely what has happened is that you are in this overwhelmed cycle. And the one thing that's probably keeping you stuck in this cycle is the lack of nervous system regulation. Most overwhelmed women think their issue is maybe time management or lack of getting support or help, or maybe the lack of discipline of needing better strategies to stop that overwhelm cycle. And a lot of times, especially if we've experienced shock, we think that if we just continue pushing forward, if we just keep going, keep doing, then we'll get better. You know, Maybe once like we think, okay, if I get going and I get to the weekend, then I'll have the weekend to relax. Well, we don't do that because we do. And so we stay stuck. So, again, why do we stay stuck? The real reason is that our nervous system is in chronic stress response. We are constantly in this fight, flight, freeze, or we can even add in the newest one that everybody's talked about is fawn. So we keep them from making those things keep us from making clear decisions and taking effective action. You know, we can start our day with journaling or affirmations, which is a start, but unless we combine the work of regulating our nervous system and dealing with what is overwhelming us, we're not going to be able to make strides. So why does overwhelm it why, we've heard all these things about mindset, like growth mindset and mindfulness. Why does overwhelm just disappear if we change our mindset? Well, when the nervous system is dysregulated, the brain prioritizes our survival. It's it thinks we're in survival mode when our nervous system is dysregulated. And it all comes back to, some our thoughts may perceive that we are nervous or fear. So it kicks in our cortisol, which then kicks in our nervous system responses, which is fight, flight, freeze, fawn. And so when we are constantly thinking, our body thinks that we are, um, in this mode where we need to survive, we may now have more mental fog. It for sure leads to overthinking, exhaustion, indecisiveness, feeling frozen or feeling like we can't make a decision. And a lot of times I'm hearing from most recently I keep hearing from my clients is that they are people pleasing. They just can't say no because they fear that someone might not like them. So we're stuck in these cycles. And when we are dealing with those kind of symptoms like exhaustion, overthinking, people pleasing, then what happens to our life? What happens is that we might get snappy and yell at loved ones when we didn't need to. Or we might end up being late to work because we can't get going. We can't make a decision on what we're going to pack for lunch. We might not be able to make a decision on what we want to wear. So we might just be a few minutes late here and there, but that adds up. And then we also might find ourselves when we're at work not being able to make good decisions. And so we might be facing consequences at work. We're facing consequences in our relationship. And so we want to fix this overwhelmed feeling, and we don't know really where to start because we never really realized that it had anything to do with our nervous system. And so we try to fix maybe the overwhelm triggers. Maybe we start to realize that, okay, I'm getting yelled at work because I'm late. So let me see if I can get up a few minutes earlier and get to work on time. So again, we're fixing maybe that part of the problem, but we're not fixing the other problem, which is keeping you stuck in that overwhelmed feeling. So, what are some things that we can do? Well, first, we need to recognize that our nervous system keeps us stuck. In chronic stress, dealing with chronic stress. So, dealing with that shocking event that has happened, that is definitely a chronic stress. Having daily stressors that we're not dealing with appropriately and they keep building up, that is chronic stress. So, our chronic stress is creating this again survival mode in our brain and keeping us stuck in that, dysregulated nervous system. So we definitely want to take a look at what we have feel is normal and make some changes. The more stressed we are, the harder it is to trust our intuition or make confident decisions. We don't trust ourselves. And so we need to figure that out too. So we need to there's a lot of components that need to be worked on. And resetting our nervous system will get us started in that process. So, breaking through, learning how to recognize our stress pattern. So first, are you in that fight, flight, freeze, or fawn? So fight is you're more aggressive. You're maybe frustrated often and yelling. Fighting or flighting, sorry, you're avoiding tasks or you're avoiding certain things that maybe bring on that stress. Freeze, you just are stuck. You're numb, you can't make decisions at all. You're just numb to everything. And then fawn is more of that people-pleasing behavior. We fear that saying no to someone will cause, them to maybe not like us, or we might miss out on something, that fear of missing out. If we say no, I just don't have the time, what will we miss out on? So we want to recognize that pattern. We want to do some, regulating our nervous system. So simple techniques can include breath work, grounding, our vagus nerve activation, and just movement. And then we want to shift our overthinking to action. So we want to create tiny, low pressure steps to start moving forward with our overthinking. So these all sound simple, but you have to work them together to create action. So if you're resonating with this, first I would like you to comment below, what is your stress pattern? Are you fight, flight, freeze, or fawn? Let me know in the comments below. And then again, if you would like more trainings or tips and you don't want to miss out, subscribe and like this video and share it with someone else that you might think would benefit from this. Until next time.